Hi there. So we picked up something pretty sweet. We found out that one of our favorite westerns, Red Sun, was actually available in high def in Japan. It's the only place you can get it is this Japanese release of this underrated and underseen film. Red Sun, if you can believe it or not, stars this crazy international cast of Charles Bronson, formerly the Magnificent Seven, which was a remake of Seven Samurai that starred Toshiro Mifune. So you've got both of them. You've got Ursula Andress from Dr. No, and Alain Delon from from a load of great French films like Purple Noon, Le Samouraï, Le Cercle Rouge. Um, so it's a true international cast, and to top it off, it is directed by Terence Young of Bond fame. I think he did the first few Bond films, or definitely a bunch of the first 5 or 6 Bond films in the 60s. This film here is 1971. I don't think it was made on the highest budget, but they made the most of what they did, what they could do. Um, it's basically what they based the comedy film Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson on. This, except for this is not really a comedy. It does have some lighthearted, funny parts, but it's more of a straight western. You have Toshiro Mifune being a Japanese bodyguard on a train. The train is hijacked by bandits, and it ends up with Charles Bronson's character and Toshiro Mifune trying to track down Alain Delon's bandits to recover an item of importance. An adventure ensues. That's the basic setup. I'm not going to give away too much more than that. I had this on DVD, but there were some problems with the DVD. I had it on DVD twice, actually. I had it full frame, which is obviously not the best way to see films, considering this was, according to IMDb, it should be at 1.85 to 1. And I also had it on widescreen, but it was obviously a very cut widescreen, as it chopped off some text information at the bottom of the screen when the opening credits were running. So I knew it wasn't a true widescreen; it had just been sliced and diced. This, however, is a beautiful widescreen, high-def presentation. Looks a lot better than those old DVDs, and all the information seems to be, or all the pertinent information seems to be available. It does say that it's actually 1.78 to 1, so it might be just slightly cropped from the theatrical, if the information is correct on IMDb. The first thing I wanted to check was I went to the scene where they're fighting in this sort of cornfield with the reeds flying back and forth, and on the DVD they're digitized quite heavily. Here, much smoother and high definition without that compression, with a lot more room to breathe on the disc, and it looks quite fabulous. Now, the opening scenes are the worst looking scenes on the film, but it's certainly about 10 minutes in, it sort of settles into a much crisper picture, and it's a really enjoyable film. Now, you may be wondering, because this isn't Japanese and there is Japanese writing all over it, is there any problem with the audio and subtitles? No, there is not. You just make sure it's on English with no subtitles. The subtitles aren't burnt in, and you have both English and Japanese in 2.0. But this isn't too expensive to get. I guess depending on where you live. I originally was going to order this from Amazon Japan, which was where I found it at the cheapest price, but the shipping was absurd to come to where I live, so I'm not sure if the shipping is as bad for other regions of the world, but where I was, the shipping was just criminal. So I ended up looking at Yes Asia and CD Japan. They both had it quite cheap. CD Japan had it the cheapest, with the cheapest shipping, very cheap shipping. So in the end, I got it at a real reasonable price. It used to be much more expensive when it first came out, but rest assured, came within just a few days. Excellent packaging. It is region free. One thing I should tell you, The credits are in French, because it's from a Studio Canal French print that's been provided to Japan, so it goes under the name Soleil Rouge, and there is a little bit of writing at the very beginning of the film, like a bit of just to set up the scene. But if you've seen the film before, you know exactly what it says. The French dialogue's pretty easy to pick out in broad strokes. It just sort of sets the scene of what's happening on the train and who's on the train. And so, yeah, it's really no problem at all. Taken from a French master. High definition is much better than the DVD. All the pertinent information in the frame, if not all the information. Good picture, good sound, no extras. It comes in this pretty cool looking package, and if you notice here, it's black here instead of blue, which I reckon is pretty cool. The only other standard Blu-ray case that I have that is not blue is something I just picked up recently, which is the band called Death documentary about this great band called Death, and it has a clear case. But yeah, the black looks nice, very nice. So if you are a fan of Red Sun, or just like good westerns, or are keen on checking out this amazing cast, Japan is the only place you can get the Blu-ray currently. The DVD's never had any special features, so I don't imagine that any forthcoming Blu-ray release in any other region would have any special features. So don't let that put you off. It's a good film. This is the best it's ever looked, and finally not sliced to pieces.